Crypto Canada. Welcome. You are probably tuned into this page because you want to know a little bit more about Bitcoin. You've been hearing about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency more and more lately. Maybe you've been getting some spam inside your Instagram or Facebook from people saying that they're going to trade from 2,000 to 22,000 or something like that. By the way, those are scams. You're going to learn at Crypto University, which is where I learned. Hit the link in our bio if you're on Instagram, that you could do it all yourself, right? You could trade cryptocurrency, you could learn about cryptocurrency, you can buy cryptocurrency, you can sell cryptocurrency, and you don't need $10,000, $20,000 to do it. So also, let's squash that myth right away. Okay, so if you're tuned in on YouTube, please, before we go any further, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and click that little bell notification button so that you can get notified every single time I upload a video. Okay, so this video is going to be pretty basic. I first wanted to introduce to you Crypto University. Okay, Crypto University is basically the largest education platform for crypto trading and investing in the world, and it costs less than your monthly fast food budget, right? So if you hit the link in the Instagram bio, it's going to take you right to Crypto University. You can see the courses that they offer, where you can start learning, and the costs. Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, please follow us on Instagram. It's Crypto Canada at CRYPCAN at Crypcan. Okay, at Crypcan. I'll paste it if I figure out how. Okay, I'm not very technologically savvy, yet I'm invested in cryptocurrency, which brings me to the next point. Bitcoin is very, very easy to invest in. It's very easy to buy. It's very easy to get. Right now, I believe the market value of Bitcoin is in and around, in Canadian dollars, almost $14,000. That would be over $10,000, right? I haven't checked the market cap today, but I'm going to check it out, okay? So, is Bitcoin money? Well, it is currency, and so what is money? That's what you got to ask yourself. What is money, right? We know money to be the paper dollar, right? So every country has their own currency, whether it's the paper dollar, the Canadian dollar, the South African rand, the UK pound, the euro. There's different forms of currency for different countries, different regions, right? There's the lira, there's the pence, there's all kinds of money out there. And you'll find that on the stock exchange, some people trade money, right? Well, it's similar with trading cryptocurrency, only it's global, right? And it's decentralized. You don't need a bank. There's 2.5 million people or more in the world that don't have bank accounts that can now become their own bank account. You are now in control of your own money. You can now manage your own money. Right? So how could somebody just create money? Well, let's just look into the history of money. Money used to be in the form of gold, right? Gold or wheat or diamonds or other things of value, right? What do you want with all your relationships? You want trust. You want value out of every relationship you have, right? Those are the two definitely basic things you want. It's trust, value, and then at the very least you want some security, right? So after a while, when people were doing large transactions and big amounts of money, they couldn't be carting gold all over the country, and they couldn't be carting big large amounts of gold all over the place. So they came up with a paper agreement, usually with a third party witness, right? That we now call banks. But back in the day, it would be like some type of notary or some type of trusted individual that you would write a promissory note. You do this for me, or you give me this, I'll give you this much in gold. There's the promissory note. You put it into a trusted place, and then when the deed is done, the gold is exchanged, right? after a while, they slowly did away with that gold, and people started putting value into that promissory note, right? So it became not just convenient for people to use this paper to get goods and to get services, it just became money, right? So they created money out of nothing. They took gold, they turned it into a promise on a piece of paper that was signed, and now, today, this is how we buy and sell goods and use services with fiat currency, your dollar, your pound, or whatever, right? But we've been moving towards a cashless society, if you've noticed, okay? So it's becoming more about ones and zeros, right? It's becoming more about numbers and transactions on a ledger that is kept on a computer, usually in a bank or a credit union, a central authority of some kind, right? And they just give you a debit card, or you're doing it online. You're buying stuff online, but really what you're doing is you're entering information, and the computer translates it into forms of ones and zeros, and you're transferring electronic information in the exchange for goods and services to be sent to your home, right? And then with that information, based on the number you give them on the card, that will update information on a ledger in your bank, letting them know that you have this much less money, right? But that money is never now paper cash passing hands. It's not gold passing hands anymore. It's ones and zeros. It's bits. It's bits. It's Bitcoin, right? So when somebody says, show me your Bitcoin, they're expecting you to pull out some coins. But that's not how it is. They're ones and zeros. They're digital, right? So somebody came up with a system where we don't have to depend on a central authority, because with all that power being put into the hands of the banks, they're controlling the lives of all the people, right? Everybody's life, every business's life, every corporation's life is being controlled by a central authority that we're putting all our trust and our security in, right? So are we getting value out of that? Well, let's see. If I put $150 in the bank today, 1 year from now, I'll be $30 in the hole, right? Because if they're taking $15 a month, every month, 12 months from now, I'll be $30 in the hole, right? So I'm losing monetary value. But I know that that bank's insured, right? So if somebody steals my identity and they go shopping somewhere in, say, Venezuela or something, or, Europe or somewhere, or whatever, I could call my bank and I could verify where I've been, that I haven't made these transactions, who I am, and they have all that information on their ledger. They can look and they can see it, and they can say, oh, this was a fraudulent transaction, and my money can be protected, it can be returned to me, right? So I guess that's the value I'm paying for. So even though I'll be $30 in the hole, the reason why they're taking out $15 every month is because of the security that I'm paying for from the bank, right? But I'm giving all my money and all my power to the bank. They can freeze my account whenever they want to. Anything can happen on their end, and I have zero control over it. And if I want to see the ledger and the transactions of everything that I've ever done since I've ever opened an account, I can't see that. I can't see the notes that they're putting into there either. And when my money goes in there and the bank is using my money to invest and move it around in different mutual funds for everybody else, because that's what they do with our money, I can't see how they're using my money either. That's on a ledger, and the information belongs to the bank. I could probably get 3 months to a year of transactions. After that, I got paid for those transactions, right? Bitcoin is on a decentralized system, on a secure cryptographic platform where nobody can hack into it, nobody can get into that information, right? It's both transparent and private at the same time. Every single transaction that is done on the blockchain when it comes to Bitcoin is transparent. I can see in your wallet, you can see in my wallet, I can see every transaction that's ever been done on the Bitcoin, on the blockchain, right? Everything. I can't see who you are, I don't know your name, I can't see your face, right? You have that anonymity. So it is definitely anonymous in that way. but it's also very transparent in the way that if you say that you're going to give me X amount of Bitcoins for my car, I can see in your wallet to know if you have that amount of Bitcoin or not, right? I can see clearly in your wallet the last transaction you did and how much you have, so I know, okay, this guy could probably afford it and I'm willing to do that transaction. And we might use an exchange to do that transaction, and an exchange, you think it's like a bank, but it's not. It's more like an area where people can do business, just like when you're sharing files on Napster and Kazaa, you're sharing music files on a platform called Napster. Napster would be the exchange that you go to, the site that you go to, so that you and your peers can exchange music and files. Only those files would be money, right? All those transactions are put to a block and they're linked onto a chain so that every single node that is attached to that blockchain has information as to how the currency is moving around, right? And when there's a recession, you can't just print more Bitcoin, right? Only an X amount of Bitcoin has been released, right? So people are mining for it, and some of it's already in circulation. So it's different that in the sense that the government can print more fiat currency whenever they're falling into a serious recession or they're at risk of depression, right? Like the bailout, they could just, we're going to print 77 billion or 77 million dollars, and we're going to give it to these corporations to keep the economy going so that there's not a crash, right? And in doing so, they're bringing down the value of that dollar that you depend on for your living, right? So now it looks as though the price of everything is going up, but what's really happening is the value of your dollar is going down. So that same dollar that was actually a dollar back in, say, 1913 is actually only worth 4 or 5 cents today, right? So you need a whole bunch more of those dollars to buy a carton of coconut milk today than you say would have been back in 1913. I used to have a bunch of old newspapers, and I remember a whole entire living room rug cost like $7. That's going to cost you hundreds of dollars today, right? And it's not because inflation brought the price up, it's because the value of your dollar is losing strength. That's why in the past month, you see that corporations have bought up $400 million worth of Bitcoin, or $250 million worth of Bitcoin, because they're onto something that you need to get onto, right? So with that being said, if you want to learn more about what Bitcoin is and how to buy it and how to purchase it, hit the link in the Instagram bio. Please, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, the little bell notification beside it so you know that when another video is uploaded. And please hit that like button for that YouTube algorithm, okay? So until next time, this is Crypto Canada saying go. Get on that path to financial freedom ASAP. All right. I love you.